How are we, everybody? It's been a little while since I've jumped back onto YouTube and done a nice little video for you guys. So I thought I would do a quick impromptu homebrew beer review for Thirsty Thursday because it's a nice hot day today in Queensland. So it's a good time for a beer. Stay tuned. Check this video out. Hey legends, how are ya? It's been a while since I've done a little video. Thought I would just do a quick one. It's been a very busy time for me at the moment. I've been a super busy boy, so I need to give you guys a little bit of love and upload a new video. So today, I've just poured myself a glass of my new Hazy Pale Ale. I'm calling it Shoey Hazy Pale Ale, version 1. So me as a brewer, I'm always brewing new styles, trying different beers. I'm always researching a lot of beers as well, looking for that new cool and great style. But this one here, it's a nice little beer. It's a nice light little beer as well, nice 4.9%. So I wanted to try and get a base going for a recipe and then work on that, so and improve on it. So here it is. I'm going to just get going straight away with a sip. The colour is beautiful. Very happy with the colour. Very happy with the carbonation. I've also got some notes here of what it turned out to be. So, grain bill. I used 2.8 kilos of pale malt, 2-row pale malt, 1.2 kilos of wheat malt, 120 grams of acid malt, and 100 grams of light crystal. The mash-in was 68 degrees. Hops, we used 20 grams of Galaxy in the boil for 10 minutes. We used 50 grams of Mosaic in the whirlpool for 20 minutes. 50 grams of Mosaic and Galaxy for a 5-day dry hop. My dry hop did end up being 8 days, which was a little bit extended, more than I wanted to. I've just been slack lately with my brewing, so I need to dial it in and keep that process running smoothly. And then finally, I used some Verdant IPA yeast that was gathered and collected from a mate's brew. So he collected a jar for me. I tried everywhere to go and buy fresh packets of it. All my brew shops were sold out of it because it's just such a tasty number of yeast. It's awesome. And I was a little bit concerned a few days in using it, so it didn't actually, it was bubbling and it was fermenting how it should have, but it just didn't kick off as intensely as I wanted to. So I did chuck a packet of US-05 into that beer as well. The yeast at the end, so once I kegged the beer as well, I also collected the leftovers from the trub and whatnot, and I put it into a starter to try and grow that yeast a little bit more, and then I've just put it into some jars and I did wash it a little bit. So first time for washing yeast. Haven't done a video of it, and I didn't do a recipe video of this one either because I was time poor and just wanted to get stuck into it. So yeah, that's the recipe and the result of the beer. But for what it is, the colour has turned out perfectly. Nice carbonation. With the carbonation, I did, again, a bit time poor and a bit slack. I had the keg sitting on about 10 to 15 psi, and normally I'd only leave that for 3 or 4 days at the most. I probably left it for about closer to 10 days, and that's how long it's been since I've actually come out into my shed, into my brew shed for a few days. So it ended up being very intense. The first few pours that I did with the beer, it was very fluffy. I was getting full cups of head that were just filling right to the brim. So wasn't ideal. Now that I've had a few glasses out of it, it's settled right down perfectly, and we've ended up with this delicious little beer. So let's get into it. So aroma, It's very orangey. I'm getting lots of orange, and I'm getting a little bit of wheat on the nose. Again, I did use a fair bit of wheat in this one, probably up to 30% wheat. I wanted to try and get that sweetness, and I find that with wheat in hazies or nice pale ales, it does bring out a nice sweet flavour that enhances the hop aroma. So a little bit behind into what I expected, but I'm definitely going to be tweaking this recipe. Heaps of orange. Again, a little bit of that wheatness, little wheaty malt flavour, and a bit of... All right, and we're back. Little technical difficulty there. The phone just slipped off the little mount that I've got set up, the little tripod mount. So I think I'm going to get a new one and get some more production happening. Back to the beer. So orange flavoured, a little bit of pine as well. So it's got a nice firm bitterness, mildly hot burn. I could probably do with a longer cold crash. I actually reached out to a few people, and to remove hot burn, it's recommended to do like a nice long cold crash. I'm going to look further into how long, but a nice long cold crash is the recommendation I've been getting. I was worried about filtering the beer as well. The beer probably it did have a few hop flowers still floating around in there, and just a couple of little chunks of, it was like hot matter and stuff like that. So I definitely want to dial that in and remove all that excess stuff that floats around in the beer, and probably smoothen it up a bit, and probably, not be so bitter and, I guess, little bit astringent. But nonetheless, very happy with how this beer is. I do have a few tweaks that I want to do. I'm probably going to dial back the wheat in this one, so I'll make sure I do a brew day on the next version. I'll probably reduce the acid malt, and I'll probably reduce the boil addition as well. So 20 grams of Galaxy at 10 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm probably going to try and focus more on the whirlpool and the dry hops, and be a bit more refined with the dry hop as well, and stick to that 3 to 5 day dry hop addition. But yeah, very happy with this. Bit of an informal little brew review here. If you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask on my next brew day, happy to share with you guys any questions you might have. If you want to know more about my brew days, my brewing techniques, feel free to hit me up anytime. I'm always there. Also, jump onto my Instagram as well, at Shoey Brewing. I always post all the craft beers that I drink on there, and a lot of my research beers that I try, but trying to get a bit more homebrew content onto my page as well. So if you haven't jumped on there yet, make sure you check that one out. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.